Hey everyone, my name is Jessica and this is my week 5 persuasion speech. So do you know a kid, or have you ever been in a position in high school where you had the desire to learn a musical instrument? Well, my goal here for today in my persuasion speech is to persuade you all that kids should be learning to play a musical instrument at a young age. So we're going to be talking about 3 things. The first point I would like to discuss is this opportunity to learn can open so many doors for young children. Second of all, we're going to be discussing how this can be a hobby or it can be a long-term pursuit of theirs. And lastly, we're going to be discussing how playing music can help your brain develop and flourish and help you with skills outside of the music field. So we're going to be talking about the first point now, and that is opportunities. So when you start a kid at a young age, not only do they get out of their normal academic setting, they get into a fun-filled, musical-enriched environment with their peers and other classmates, as well as musical instructors or a teacher or whoever that may be in the course. And this is a fun opportunity to relax, to not be stressed. Not that kids should be stressed in young grade school, but it's definitely something for them to help get their energy out, play fun music, or just learn. You're having fun and you're learning at the same time. So this is a great way for parents to know that kids are doing something else besides their academics to get their energy out, as well as learn something fun. Now we're going to be talking about how this can be not only just a hobby, but it can also be a long-term goal of theirs. So I knew a friend, and she was playing in the orchestra for several years, and she did not continue this musical path because she wanted to go into different things, but she had a great time playing the instrument and attending concerts and playing in the orchestra. So she always had something to do in her free time. She always had to practice her music for her class. She also was chair of her chamber orchestra section, so she definitely needed enough time outside of the music classroom to help other students and continue to excel on her musical development. Also, if you wanted to continue your musical career outside of high school after you graduated, you could always attend a musical school, or you could find schools that provide orchestras, bands, etc., and continue your musical desires. And a musician can always continue these dreams of theirs, and there's so many symphonies and orchestras, such as the Philharmonic Orchestra, the New York Symphony, etc. And lastly, we're going to be discussing the brain benefits of what playing a musical instrument can do. So, according to Anita Collins, and Anita Collins is an educator of neuroscience of musical playing, and in her TED Talk, she stated that while playing a musical instrument, this helps connect the 2 hemispheres of the brain closer together. So it allows musical players, or musicians, to be more cognitive and have better remembering skills, better motor skills, and better listening skills. Musicians are then continuously applying these skills to their other everyday practices. So it can be in their classroom, it can be in a sport, it can be in a academic decathlon, it can be anything you want. And as they continue to practice, this is strengthening their ability to practice all these different types of brain activities. So you may be asking me, how does my young child want to get started in playing a musical instrument? Where is the best place to go? What instrument should we get for my child or any kid I know? And that is a great question. So To start off, I always recommend talking to the school or talking to the musical instructor or the chair of the music department and see how to get your child involved in playing a musical instrument. A lot of schools where I grew up did a music day, so after lunch we would all go back to the cafeteria and they would display all these different types of instruments to play. And what they had the opportunity to do was they could test these instruments, and of course the wind and brass instruments would be sanitized, and they could see which instrument would fit them best, and they would have a few minutes for whatever instrument they wanted to try out. So this gave the kids a great feel for their instrument, and if they decided to change their mind later on in the year or years later, they would of course talk to the teacher, talk to their parent or guardian, and that switch would be made and adjustments would be taking place for them. And an article according to Erickson, a lot of the brass and wind instruments are not suitable for children ages 6 and under just due to their mouth size and due to their lung capacity, since those are instruments that need to be blown into for sound purposes. String instruments, of course, have only so many sizes, so they can be specialty made instruments, but it's always important to see if you can find an instrument that fits your child or the person that you know. And lastly, percussion instruments are always a great favorite, but they're not always suitable, or they're not suitable, they're not something that many people pick. So it's always good to make sure that that's something that they want to do before you go out and get them started in that. And there are so many outside resources such as musical instructors. So you can always talk to your local music department in the high school, or in the elementary school and middle school, and reach out to them and find the best source of contact, as well as there's private clubs for musical playing. I hope you feel that it is important for kids to start playing at a musical young age. My name is Jessica, and I thank you for watching.